What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. So let's talk about Ryan Clark and the Pivot podcast, their reaction to LeBron James confronting Stephen A. Smith during the Lakers game, right? And Ryan Clark, he made some pretty fair assessments to me as far as LeBron intervening in, I guess, certain situations involving Bronny James and how it could make Bronny feel, so on and so forth. If people look at it like he's trying to fight his battles for him, even though Ryan Clark says, I get it, I understand as a parent, I will go to war for my children, etc. I would live for them. I would fight for them. I would die for them, so on and so forth. Then he speaks about basically that LeBron has been probably the best at handling criticism that he's seen in a long time, due to the fact that LeBron's career has been viewed through a microscope, through a magnifying glass, so on and so microscope rather, and everything he's done has been closely ridiculed over the years, right? But he Bronny is a professional player, and if LeBron tries to get into it with everybody that says something negative about Bronny, he'll be fighting his entire career, Bronny's entire career, so on and so forth. But what gets lost in all of this is the fact that LeBron was not upset about criticism towards Bronny James. You know what I'm saying? In fact, Stephen A. Smith has been rather respectful towards Bronny James compared to other talking heads on TV who have raked Bronny James through the coals, have denigrated him in a lot of crazy ways, right? Stephen A. Smith has pretty much been really respectful. What LeBron is upset about is Stephen A. Smith questioning his parenting by having Bronny James play actual NBA minutes against the Philadelphia 76ers that game, right? Because Stephen A. Smith said, what did he say? I'm pleading with you, LeBron, as a father. I'm pleading with you. Stop it. Stop it. You exposing your son like that? You exposing your son like that, as if LeBron is setting up his own son to be humiliated and embarrassed, right, on national TV, as if LeBron is a bad parent by allowing Bronny to get real NBA minutes, to get his feet wet in NBA games. That's the only way he's going to get better. Yes, playing in the G League is how he gets better as well. And Bronny had been playing in the G League and has been playing well in the G League, right? So the way to get your feet wet and see how you're getting acclimated to the game is for you to play actual NBA minutes against actual NBA talent, right? And so when he saw Stephen A. Smith saying, as a father, I'm pleading you, stop this. You exposing your son like that? He's like, hold on, wait a minute, man. Now keep my son out of this. What me and you got, because listen, man, and LeBron is not like, oh, he's just so sensitive about criticism. Stephen A. has said a lot of things about LeBron over the years. LeBron has dapped Stephen A. up when he's seen him. He's shaking his hand before. He's spoken to him and all of that, even with them not being really friendly like that. Even with Stephen A. Smith saying some things about LeBron, that LeBron could have taken exception to, and probably did, he's still shaking his hand. So I know it's not that, oh, he's just being sensitive. No, he took offense to him questioning his parenting as a father. Oh, you gonna set your son up like bro, set him up like how? Have him playing actual NBA minutes after he's been playing well in the G League, averaging 24 a game in the G League? He's been having some great moments and showing great signs of explosive talent. By letting him play in an NBA game, I'm setting my son up, like I'm exposing him. Now you questioning my parents, and that's why LeBron was mad, right? So, and LeBron said that in an interaction with Richard Jefferson, which I posted on my channel some hours ago, right? Early this morning, I posted or late last night, I posted the footage of LeBron talking to Richard Jefferson, and the footage being, was it transcribed, I believe it is, where you can see what LeBron is saying, so on and so forth, right? But as the conversation on the Pivot podcast continues, let me get back to Ryan Clark and the Pivot podcast. Ryan Clark says, well, let me say this too, LeBron approaching, he's like, if this was anybody else, if this was T. Moran and LeVar Ball, we would say, they out of control, so on and so forth, right? And okay, that's a great point. Even though they're father, it's a great point. But this is the point that I disagree with, right? Even though I know what Ryan was trying to say. He say, I don't see you pulling up on Skip Bayless like this after all the crazy things that Skip has said about you over these years. and I don't see you pulling up on other people like that, right? And so he was saying that to also say that, well, LeBron, you've been able to handle criticism so well yourself, even though people have disrespected you in the most highest, the craziest ways, right? But he said, I don't see you pulling up on Stephen A. Smith, on Skip Bayless like this, which a lot of people have said. LeBron ain't never pulled up on Skip Bayless. And I want to remind y'all of something. When is the last time y'all seen Skip Bayless at a sporting event? Skip Bayless don't be outside. He don't be at none of these sporting events. You can't recall a time you've seen Skip Bayless at a sporting event. I double dare you to do it. You can't even remember. Skip don't be at none of these games. He knows people don't like him. He knows he has bad, excuse my oven, I'm sorry. I got the pizza in the oven. I'm hungry as hell. But anyway, he knows that people have, he's left, people have a bad taste in their mouth about Skip Bayless, right? Skip knows that he's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And I think that leads him to refrain from going to public events. Maybe he just don't really like being at games like that anymore. Maybe they're just not his thing. Maybe he likes to watch from home, where he could just be, him and his TV and his Maltese and him and Ernestine on the couch watching TV. But when people say, why LeBron didn't pull up on Skip Bayless, I gotta remind y'all, Skip don't never be at none of these sporting events or outings. Better yet, I haven't seen Doug Gottlieb at any of these outings since he was covering college basketball. So when Doug Gottlieb talked that shit about LeBron James, he doing it from a safe place, from a safe space. I'm not saying LeBron is a super tough ass dude or top goon, but I guarantee you LeBron would have approached Doug Gottlieb the same way. You know what I mean? Like if he would have questioned his fatherhood. If Doug Gottlieb, now again, I don't think Bron know. If he is trying to fight everybody that has negative critique, that have critiques of Bronny James, LeBron know if he try to fight everybody that critiques Bronny, he'll be fighting all day long. Because there's a lot of people who have talked crazy about Bronny. He know he can't win that war. You know what I mean? So it wasn't him addressing Stephen A. Smith was not about Bronny disrespect or nothing. It wasn't none of that. You know what I mean? And furthermore, to this point, Skip Bayless ain't never questioned Bron's fatherhood. Or question, he ain't never said nothing bad about Bronny, but it's not about Bronny criticism while LeBron was upset. Skip Bayless ain't never questioned LeBron's fatherhood. He's always been in his corner as far as fatherhood goes. So even if Skip was at the game, I don't think, LeBron ain't pressing nobody about things they say about him, per se. It's about he is. When you question his fatherhood, yes. When you're questioning how he's parenting his children, when you're questioning if he's a bad parent, when you're questioning if he is exposing his children, if he's setting his children up to be humiliated, so on and so forth, then I think he has a problem with you. You know what I mean? But as it pertains to anything else, his criticism about him or Bronny's play, I don't think he's tripping about that type of stuff. I really don't think he's tripping about that type of stuff. And so yeah. If you ain't questioning his fatherhood and, if he's exposing his child to be set up for failure, if one of these dudes got on TV, let's just say a Skip Bayless or Doug Gottlieb got on TV and said, LeBron, because I saw this narrative, LeBron is a bad parent. He rushed Bronny back after having cardiac arrest. He rushed him back to get him to the NBA and all that. Like, come on, man. If one of them said that shit, he would definitely approach one of them. Because now you questioning if I care about my son's livelihood, his life. Not livelihood. If you're questioning if I care about my son's life, if I care about my son's health, if I care about his well-being, you're saying I'm a bad parent. Like that's some shit make you really want to say, what the fuck? What? You saying I'm a terrible, I'm setting my son up to be to basically to die or something? He had cardiac arrest and you're rushing him back. I saw people say that. If one of them was to say that about him, he's approaching anybody that say some shit like that, whether it be goddamn Mike Wilbon, whether it be Steven Jackson, one of them. It don't matter. Because I think when even fatherhood and people questioning your love for your children and what you're doing with your children, it'll make a person who's not even a confrontational individual snap. I'm not a confrontational person, but if you want to have a confrontation, we can have it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not that's not my nature. But about them children of mine, I'm going to war. I'm going to war like goddamn Achilles. I'm going to war like the goddamn I don't know for one of the best soldiers you ever seen about my children. And I'm not naturally super confrontational like that. But if it's about my children, we having at it. I don't give a fuck who get mad, who feel away, none of that, all of that. So, yeah, I think LeBron approaching anybody that's questioning his parenting on that level, whether it be the toughest of the tough guys, whether it be the hardest of the hardest individual, like the most rough, rugged individuals. Because once motherfuckers start questioning if you care about your children, if you setting your children up to be harmed, if you're setting them up to be humiliated, or if you're setting them up to be put in a bad position, you know what I'm saying? Anybody pushing back against that shit. You know what I'm saying? Anybody pushing back against it. You know, once you doing all of that, like, nah, man, you not making it seem like I'm setting up my son to be humiliated and exposed and all of that. Or if you questioning if I'm rushing Stephen A. never said nothing about the cardiac arrest or him being rushed back from cardiac arrest. But there are a lot of these LeBron hate channels that are spewing this talk that LeBron is a bad parent for rushing his son back from cardiac arrest to be in the NBA with him and all that shit. That's how motherfuckers get checked, for real. That's how motherfuckers really get pulled up on and told about themselves and get looked in their eyes. That's when motherfuckers find out 6'9", 260 look different in person at that point. But yeah, I rock with Ryan Clark though. Big fan of Ryan Clark. He's fellow brother of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, like myself. Been a fan of his journalism for a while and what he's done in media post his playing career. Post his playing career as a Pro Bowl safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So proud of what he's done. But I do want to make that point because a lot of people are saying, why you don't pull up on Skip Bayless and such and such and such and such. And I had to outline that, man. Skip Bayless ain't never at the games. One, ever. Skip Bayless has never questioned LeBron's parenting. And, that's what it really was about. Not about critiques of Bronny's game at all. Machiavelli Mills TV, y'all. I'm out. Peace.